Get to the Duke, North Carolina rivalry in a sec, but start with the Missouri Valley Conference Championship game. 2-seed Creighton, 1-seed Southern Illinois. Keep in mind, the 1-seed in this tournament hasn't won since '98, and that would continue. Creighton hitting the floor. Nate Funk all the way up on the pass. Dane Watts, the layup and the bucket. He had 12 points. And Southern Illinois, they just couldn't stop Anthony Tolliver. 15 points, 13 rebounds. Creighton in the tournament for the 7th time in 9 years, 67-61 the final. 5th time in the last 6 years, the 2-seed has won this tournament. So here you go, the 6 teams as of Monday morning already guaranteed a spot in the tournament. 5 through conference tournament wins. And of course, there's Penn with the Ivy. A game left to play, but already clinched the Ivy for the 3rd straight season. Interesting note here about that conference. If your name isn't Penn or Princeton, you haven't won it since 1988. As we say, hey, how are you on the Sports Update presented by Toyota. Jason Horowitz, glad to be with you to tip off this exhilarating week of college hoops. One, of course, that'll culminate Sunday with the selection show on CBS at 6 p.m. And one team that may hear its name called, well, a school that many were surprised by last year to be even in the dance, stunned at how far it went this season. Well, it wouldn't be a surprise come Sunday because conference tourney winners get bids, but it's a bit of a shocker. They're in the conference tournament final. George Mason at it again, a team not expected to really do anything in the Colonial Athletic Association tournament after a 15-14 year, but now in the finals, the 6th-seeded Patriots beating Old Dominion, snapping the Monarchs' 12-game win streak by holding them to 35% from the floor while shooting 58% themselves. So the Patriots take on top-seeded VCU with a spot in the NCAA tournament on the line. Keep in mind, the last time Mason made the Colonial Finals, it lost a 1-point heartbreaker to VCU. Elsewhere, the MAC title up for grabs between Siena and Niagara. The Purple Eagles trying to get back for the 2nd time in 3 years. And then out west, it's Gonzaga and Santa Clara for the West Coast Conference title. Remember, the Broncos ended the Bulldogs' 50-game home winning streak, but this one in Portland. All right, I mentioned Duke, North Carolina. This one got ugly, folks, but we'll start with the good. It was good, bad, and well, ugly for Tyler Hansborough, but here's the good. You see the buckets inside. He was dominant. 26 points, 17 rebounds, but here's the ugly. Just 14 seconds left at Gerald Henderson. The elbow to the face. The refs immediately called it an intentional foul. They went back, they reviewed it, they ejected him for the game. Henderson will miss 1 game with a suspension. That'll come against North Carolina State in the ACC tournament. There you see him escorted off. North Carolina sweeps Duke 86-72 the final. UNC the 1-seed in the ACC tournament. Keep in mind, though, 7 straight ACC tournaments that they have been a 1-seed. They have not won that tournament. Meanwhile, no fight in the Florida-Kentucky game, really none in the Wildcats either. The Gators with an 85-72 win, marking the 6th consecutive over Kentucky. First SEC school to ever do that. Only Notre Dame has more consecutive wins against the Wildcats. All right, NFL and Lance Briggs last week was tagged the Chicago Bears franchise player. This week, he's trying to rip it off and never put on the Bears uniform again. The 4-year veteran has watched all weekend as Nate Clements, Adalius Thomas signed enormous deals, causing him to demand the Bears rescind the tag or trade him. Briggs said in a phone interview with ESPN, quote, "There's a difference between the Chicago Bears team and the Chicago Bears organization. Chicago Bears team, the coaches, players, cities, and fans, yeah, I could stay there forever. I love it. But the Chicago Bears organization, I don't want to be there anymore. I won't play for them, and I'll do everything in my power to keep from playing there," end quote. Well, others a little happier. 30-year-old running back Amon Green introduced Monday as the new Texans running back, a 4-year deal from the team that, well, passed on Reggie Bush. Staying with backs, the Titans cut Travis Henry Saturday. The Broncos Monday showing some interest. The Denver Post reporting the two sides working on a deal to bring him to the Mile High City. Remember, the Broncos traded Tatum Bell last week to get Dre Bly, although the latter not happy about being in Denver. Sources close to Bly telling the Washington Post he wanted to be a Redskin because they were willing to give him a contract extension while the Broncos are not. Bly has 1 year left on his contract. All right, time for the Wits Hits. Told you last week Jake Plummer was traded to the Buccaneers, but a day later he filed his retirement papers. For all the moves so far since free agency started Friday, be sure to read Preet Prisco and Clark Judge here on the site. Also, Brady Quinn didn't throw at the Combine, although finally did Sunday at Notre Dame's Pro Day. See how he did right here on the site as well. And Yao Ming has missed 32 games since breaking his right foot December 23rd, the 7'6" center. Tonight, planning his return in a game at Cleveland. And one more note, Dwayne Wade planning to rehab his shoulder and try to make a comeback with the Heat. He says he's going to rehab for about 2 to 3 weeks, see if he can go, and then, if not, have the season-ending shoulder surgery. All right, folks, that'll do it for the Sports Update presented by Toyota for Monday, March 5th. Hope the madness has gotten off to a great start for you. Let it only continue. Enjoy the night in sports. I'm Jason Horowitz. Take care.